Jason, what's up? Thank you so much for joining me today to discuss your journey with IBD. Wow, what a powerful journey. What massive success. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for your support, and then thanks for Coach Man. His hard work with me. It was very impressed with my results. I was very I start seeing the result.
Amazing. So first off, Jason, can you tell us where are you from? What were you diagnosed with? And then what was that like for you and your family?
I'm from Cape Verde, Africa, West Africa. I was diagnosed with UC, Ulcerative Colitis, in 2022. For my family, nobody knew what it was because I just found out that I have a cousin that has Crohn's, but I didn't know this disease. When I got diagnosed, I was so lost because I didn't know what it was. I thought it was a simple inflammation and it will go away.
So you were diagnosed 2 years ago. And did you get this while in Africa, or were you already in Boston in America?
I was already here.
You got the disease here. Did you have any of these issues back in Africa?
No, I never had any issue with my digestive system.
No digestive system issues. And your family that you grew up with never had any digestive system issues in Africa?
I have an aunt that gastritis and things like that, but anything rough like this.
Nothing.
Nothing.
And man, I mean, this happens quite quickly. How long have you been in the United States? How long has it been since you moved from Africa?
Almost 10 years.
Okay. I mean, that must have been like, what is going on? What happened to me? I was fine my entire life. It was very similar to me. How old are you?
I'm 33.
23. So you moved here at 13.
33.
33. Oh, you could have passed for 23. Okay. Just tell you could have passed for it. So you moved here at 23 years old, 33 years old now, and diagnosed with ulcerative colitis just 2 years ago. And now you've been in the S.H.I.E.L.D program for just hit 1 year. Just like 2 days ago, hit your 1 year mark in the S.H.I.E.L.D program. So you've been in for over a year. How were you feeling when you first got diagnosed? I know you went to the doctors. The doctors told you, we need to put you on biologics. We need to put you on steroids. We need to put you on Mesalamine. What was your experience in that year dealing with UC, using the medications? What were your symptoms like, and what was that experience like for you?
When I started the Mesalamine, I thought it was the simple inflammation that I will take the medication and I'll go back to my life and do whatever I'm going. And then I started for 3 months. It worked for 3 months. And then after that, all the symptoms came back. And I was dealing with my doctor, and I switched 5 GI doctors because I want to know about the medication, the side effects, all the kind of stuff. I wasn't happy with them. And then I said, I'm going to change the hospital. I changed 3 hospitals because I said, no, I can't have this. I never been sick. Why this has happened with me now? I ended up with my GI now. We were talking. She was like, Jason, we have to introduce you the biologic because the other medication is not working for you and your inflammation is increasing. And I was losing a lot of weight. I couldn't digest the food and all that.
And you were having like 10 bowel movements a day?
I was about 4 or 5. And I don't know what happened. And I started having more bowel movement on the day and the night. My body went crazy. Couldn't understand why my body was reacting that way. Maybe because a lot of stress too, because it was something new for me. I never dealt with anything like that before. It was very stressful and I was very anxious. I wanted something for me to take, and then everything disappeared. All the symptoms to go away, but
you wanted a magic pill. Give me a shot, give me a pill, magically go away. But your symptoms just kept getting worse. So the Mesalamine wasn't enough, and then the Prednisone wasn't enough, the steroids, and then they put you on the biologic infliximab. So after going on all 3 of those, when we look at your symptoms, and this is before you joined the S.H.I.E.L.D, right before you joined the S.H.I.E.L.D program, you're trying to live your life, you're out in Boston now, you're having about 10 bowel movements, anywhere from 8 to 12 bowel movements a day, plus every once in a while bowel movements at night, and you had an extreme amount of bleeding.
Yes. And the pain, it was insane.
So much pain, so much mucus, so much urgency. Like you go to the bathroom, you have 6 seconds to go to the bathroom. And this is very similar to me. This is very similar to Coach Armand. We both know what it's like to, I mean, for me, I lost control of my bowel movements. I had to be next to a bathroom at all given times. I was too scared to go on a bus, a taxi, a train. I was scared to be in a board meeting anywhere where there wasn't a bathroom like right next to me. And you're dealing with that. It's how do I work? How do I take care of myself? How do I be social? How do I date? How can I do anything with this? And you've already taken all the medications available to you. Did you and your doctor ever discuss surgery?
Yes, she mentioned about it, and I told her, it's like, I don't think so. I want to go there yet. I don't see you doing that now, but if the medication doesn't work, we have to think about that and talk about that. I said, like, I don't want to talk about that, and then I don't want to think about that.
That's how I was too when I was in that same position. But on top of all of those symptoms, you also had severe arthritic pain. And then you were getting hair loss. Could have been from medications, could have been from nutrient deficiencies, but your hair was coming out, right?
The nutrition deficiency, because my iron was so low. I couldn't digest properly the food. Everything was low. My potassium, my calcium, everything was low. When I do the blood test, I couldn't see my result. I couldn't see that everything was pretty low.
And that happens to a lot of us when we have that lower colon issue where you have 10 bloody bowel movements a day that are really high in levels of blood. So the hair loss, the arthritic pain. And then when did you start thinking about natural medicine? And what was your first thoughts when you looked at the S.H.I.E.L.D. program?
I have a friend, she's Brazilian, and then she told me about this lady that lives in a different city here in Massachusetts. I called her, I talked with her, and she gave me some stuff like sleep elm and stuff like that. I started a little bit and it didn't help.
Yeah.
And by that time, something that like a miracle pills or something that will help me. It didn't happen. And I said like, well, I don't know what I should do because this is very frustrating. I can't work because I was having a lot of issues, a lot of anxiety attack at work. I said like, I needed to figure out this. And then one day I was on the Instagram. I saw this Brazilian guy that we are friends, and he has the same problems. He suffered with the UC too. And then I start talking to him and all that. And I asked him like why he comment on the post that you post about the people, the testimony and all that. And he goes like, you can do it by yourself. Buying supplements and things like that. You don't need that. You don't need to spend that money. I said like, but how I'm going to buy supplements if I don't know which one is going to work with me? What I did, I kept watching the testimony. I said like, I told my husband, I say, if it worked for them, it's going to work for me too. And yeah.
So you were like, watching the testimonies that you're doing right now. And then you following us on Instagram, getting a sense of us and saying, you know what, I'm just going to get on the phone with them and get to know them. And you had that first session and got on with one of our community members. Do you remember the name of the specialist you spoke with?
Yes, it's the girl from England. Now I forgot her name. Becky, yeah. Yes,
Becky.
Yes.
Yes, Becky, who also had severe ulcerative colitis herself and healed. So you come in, you talk to your husband, you're saying, you know what? I believe this can work. I believe this can really help me. They're going to customize an answer for me. That was a year ago, last August, 2023. It's been over a year now. What are your symptoms now?
I don't have nothing.
So you don't have any symptoms? How many bowel movements a day are you having?
1 to
1 to 2 bowel movements a day. No blood?
No blood.
No urgency, no diarrhea, no pain?
No.
Good energy?
Good energy.
Like full tank of gas, 9, 10 out of 10 energy. And you're sleeping through the night.
Oh, yes.
No cramping and pain, no major bloating, no major gas, normal stuff. And any arthritic pain?
No.
Wow, so the arthritic pain went away too, which right, could be Crohn's colitis, could be something else. And then the hair loss. The hair loss stopped. Maybe see a few hands coming out in the brush, but no major hair loss. And then how much weight have you gained in the last year?
24 pounds.
24 pounds increase. You went from 101 pounds to 125 pounds. And this also, did you ever get any surgeries?
No.
And you got yourself off prednisone? You were on 40 milligrams prednisone when you started a year ago with all
no
of
more
the symptoms.
The last time that I took a prednisone, it was September last year.
Okay, so it's been that long. You got off the prednisone and you stopped the mesalamine?
Yes.
So you got off 2 of the medications, 0 symptoms. You haven't had a symptom in a very long time, so maybe 9-10 months. And then the doctor said that the infliximab was lowering your platelet count to a dangerous level. So we got you symptom-free. Then the doctor said you had to change the biologic because it was hurting your system. So they changed you to Stelara. So you're on the minimum dose of Stelara now, every 8 weeks, instead of every 4 weeks or 6 weeks. You got rid of 2 of your medications, and you got rid of your symptoms quite quickly. How quickly, and this is the crazy thing, guys, and we can't guarantee this for everyone who comes in, how quickly did you see results in the program?
I remember the last time that I got admitted in the hospital, it was September something. I can't remember the and then when I came back home, I spoke with Armand, and Armand goes like, okay, now we're gonna start a new things. Let's start do the EMNA. And I think my birthday is on October 10th. And then my grandma passed away on October 9th. I still remember those days, I didn't have no blood, no mucus.
Wow. So within a month, within a month to 2 months, you've gotten rid of the majority of your symptoms. And Armand was your main coach to do that. And Armand, can you share a little bit about working with Geiza? Like when she came in, we ran a plan, we built her a plan. It didn't go perfect after the first session. So you completely recalibrated her plan, and then she got massive symptom relief within the next few weeks of that.
Yeah, absolutely. Hit the nail on the head. We started off a plan, and initially, things don't always go perfect. You know, it definitely wasn't the immediate results we wanted to experience, but like everything, we touched base again, went back to the drawing board, refined, tweaked, modified, and then there you have it. She basically made a big shift, and into the coming weeks and months to follow after that, things made a big U-turn, right? And I think that's what kind of happened.
So had our session, wasn't perfect, said, oh, we got some information, tweaked it like that, got to the point by early October, she was predominantly symptom-free so within 6 weeks. I mean, that's amazing. And again, guys, everyone listening, we can't guarantee that everyone's a different case. It can be a difficult case. But last thing, what do you think helped Geiza get so much results? Like an enema is hard to do. Like you get scared. I don't know if I want to do this. Can I keep this up? Where do I do it? Where's my husband going to be? Is it messy? I mean, what are some characteristics that you really think helped her get?
I think primarily what really struck me initially was she didn't lose faith. You know, when you have the second session and things aren't perfect, like happened with Geiza, and you know, sometimes you can't guarantee results immediately, right? But definitely when things have a bit of a U-turn, you got to find pace, like really faith in the process to come back at it and do something in some extent, like you said, a bit difficult, like an enema, a bit daunting at first. But Geiza stepped up to the plate. You know, she had the commitment, she had the faith and the grit to say, you know, things took a turn not for the best initially, but you know, she made that U-turn, and you know, that faith I think really paid off because her dividends have been shown. Right?
Now, Geiza, I want to go back to that conversation of your buddies saying, look, you can do it yourself. You can read their blogs, you can watch their Instagram videos, and you can just try to do the stuff they talk about. You don't need a coach. You don't need to do all these things. How important was it for you to have Coach Armand there with you, step by step? Could you have done this if it was just in videos or in a book or just like a little piece of paper that says, take these things?
I couldn't do it by myself. I tried some supplements and then it put me on the really bad spot. So having coach is the best thing to do and to have, because if you feel lost, you can just contact your coach, and then the coach will guide you where you should do, what is the next steps. Having a coach, it was amazing for me and for everybody.
For everyone, right? It's not just a program. We have someone to personalize our answer for us, which is huge. It's just important. That's why I built the program the way it is. We need someone to talk to and to make sense of how I'm responding, because we all respond differently to different things, and to understand our root issues. And we talked about this enema being one of the big things, you know, like, because I always like to say, what's one thing that anyone listening can really resonate? For you, it wasn't just a capsule or a diet change. You know, you had severe colon issues with the blood, the urgency, the diarrhea. So working on a healing enema was really, really impactful. And you had mentioned that there was one supplement that you used that was a game changer for you. What was that?
KPV.
KPV, which if anyone doesn't know is a tripeptide. Link will be in the show notes below where you can see it. But when you did that, you immediately saw massive changes going on in your colon?
Yes, all the mucus disappear.
How often were you doing the enemas?
I was doing it every day.
That takes work.
Yeah, because I was scared. Because I said, like, I was on the prednisone and then the blood stopped. And then as soon as I got off the prednisone, I stepped, tape it off, like by 5 milligrams, the blood started. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep doing my EMNA every night, and then I'm gonna take my KPV in the morning with my probiotic, and then I keep doing it all these months. And then I said, like, now I'm gonna try. And then Armand told me, let's try do the EMNA 3 times a week. And then now I barely do the EMNA.
You don't even need it anymore because you got the healing response. You identified with root issue, but that was so big for you. Amazing. I mean, so for me, just your conviction to come in here and say, I'm not going to quit. I'm going to keep changing. I'm going to try something that's uncomfortable. Because the conversation with your husband of like, I'm going to start doing enemas might have been a little weird. But he saw his wife suffering. What was that conversation like with you and your husband? Like when you start doing some of these bigger protocols that he's like, what? What are you doing?
No, he was very supportive.
He wanted to see you healthy. Amazing stuff. You've been in a year. You haven't had any symptoms for 8 or 9 months. You've gotten rid of 70% of your medications. You can always decide what you want to do with that. You and your doctor can decide what that. But you got your life back. You got the results. Was the program worth it for you?
Worth and worth and worth. And then I have one thing to mention here. I went to the ER 3 months ago. I just found out I have a cyst on my left ovaries. Like my gynecologist been saying that maybe it can be the cyst that has caused me the pelvic pain, because I've been all pelvic pain. And then when I did the ultrasound, they found like this big cyst on my left ovaries. And I was talking to Coach Armand about it, and he was so happy. He was like, even with the cyst, your colon's still strong. Wow.
So even with this other issue that could be aggravating it, IBD's good, no symptoms, all good. I mean, amazing, amazing, Geiza. So I know that your mother tongue language is Portuguese from Africa. Is there anything you would like to say to anyone listening who is resonating with your journey, your story, any words of hope you'd like to give them in your mother tongue language?
For me, I will say, eu não sei se tem alguém aí sofrendo de colitis ou Crohn's disease, mas se tiver alguém sofrendo com isso do meu país, eu recomendo muito o programa Crohn's and Colitis Lifestyle, porque isso mudou a minha vida completamente. E agora eu posso garantir que agora eu posso viver a minha vida tranquila.